This is a BYD CLU and it's an alternative to a Nissan Qashqai, a Peugeot 3008 and an MG HS. And in this video I'm going to talk you around the exterior. There's something that's slightly cat-like about it. Show the interior. Good car for the paranoid, this one. I'm going to try its technology. We made the Hoover suck extra hard. I'm going to take it for a drive. I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed. I'm going to see if the Chinese are lying about its performance figures. I think they might be. I'm Matt Watson, you're watching CarWow. One of the great things about the CLU is all the technology you get on this car as standard and for a great price. Now here in the boot, I have various electrical items. Why have I got these here? Well, this car comes with what's known as vehicle to load, where you can use the hybrid plug-in battery to power household items. Now, I've done this before with other vehicles, but they normally just give you one plug. This one has four. We have four plugs here. How many appliances can it operate? I'm going to keep upping the ante by adding appliances. So let's start off with the hairdryer. Yes, it'll operate that. Will it operate a kettle? The kettle is on and it's boiling. Will it operate a toaster? Yeah, that is on. Let's just turn these things off. And now, will it operate the Hoover? Okay, that's good. So it'll operate them individually, but will it operate them all together? We can hear the kettle boiling. Let's turn this on. Put that down. Oh, 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 oh. It's operating them all. Look, lights on. That's working. Oh no. Oh, that was interesting. When it sucked onto you, Jack, it kind of lost its mind. We're right at the edge of how much it can take. Watch this. See that? See that pops up? Oh. Oh. The lights have gone out here. I think we've tripped a fuse.
There's a message on the screen.
Vehicle to load. Start the engine to generate electricity when the battery's too low. It's at 27%, but it was doing it for a while until we made the Hoover suck extra hard, and then it got a bit cross. Do you know what? I'm going to forgive it because it did power all those things at once for a period of time until we started messing around. Also, this very car has rescued me when I was in another electric car which ran out of electricity and I got stranded, and it came along, charged up that electric car and got it moving again. So still pretty impressive. Another reason why I'm going to forgive this car is because you get so much equipment as standard. So you get stuff like adaptive cruise control with lane keeping assist. You get leatherette seats, which are heated and ventilated here in the front. You also get ambient lighting. You get a sunroof, which opens, and you get amazing surround view cameras. Look, check this out, right? Press this button, bring up the surround view cameras. You can look all the way around the car like that. Hey, who's that? Weird. You can change the views. What's going on there? You can also, if you look at this, you can see through the car, so you can look at what you're driving over or have driven over. Really, really useful feature, that. James, are you all right? It doesn't seem like he is. The thing that blows my mind is that you get all that kit for £33,000, which is pretty good considering all versions of the CLU are plug-in hybrids. So what you have is a 1.5 litre naturally aspirated engine mated to an electric motor driving the front wheels only. As standard, you get an 18 kilowatt hour battery pack and it's got 218 horsepower. Now this one actually has an upgraded battery pack with 27 kilowatt hours, so you have increased electric only range. More on that in a bit, but it has the same power as the entry-level car. That'll cost you £35,000. Then there's a range-topping version which actually has a turbocharger on the 1.5 litre petrol engine plus another electric motor on the rear axle, so you have four-wheel drive and a total power output of 324 horsepower. That's £40,000. However, you can save an average of £2,800 on a CLU through CarWow, and to check out the latest savings, click on the pop-out banner or scan the QR code on screen now. We've also got a link in the description of this video. And if you want to do it at a later date, just simply Google "Help Me CarWow" and my team and I will help you choose the right car for you and get it for a fair price. So this particular mid-spec one is supposed to do 0-60 in 8.9 seconds, but what is the reality? Are the Chinese telling the truth about their performance figures? Let's find out. There is no launch control on this car. It's a case of floor it and hope for the best. Actually did it in 7.8. What's with 8.9? So it's good that this car can do 0 to 60 quicker than they said, but can it stop quick? Let's see what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to stop from 60 miles an hour, looking for around 35 metres, coming into the braking zone, 3, 2, 1. That seemed pretty decent. 34 metres. Can't really fault the performance. So the CLU stops well, but will it make people stop in their tracks and go, ooh, that's a smart looking car? Well, I think so, yes, from the front. I like the design of the headlamps and the way the daytime running lights are underneath it. There's something slightly cat-like about it, do you see what I mean? Like, it's kind of a smiley cat face and these are its whiskers. There's quite a bit of chrome trim on it, actually, to help make it have a premium feel. Actually, do you know what it is? That reminds me of a Porsche Taycan. Moving on the side, we've got bold crease, which does make the car look a bit posh and more chromy bits. Interestingly, there is one alloy wheel design. It's this. It's 19 inches, no other choice. In fact, the only option on this car is the paint. This is the standard paint, but for £1,000 you can get these other colours. Other than that, no options. Now, I just want to check something. The quality feel. The door feels quite heavy. Makes a decent sound when you shut it. Let's try the back one. Feels heavy, quite a good shot on it as well. That's nice. Anyway, moving to the rear. I quite like the look of the rear. I think it looks fine with this big LED light bar. Jack, who's on camera, doesn't like it at all. He thinks it looks like a car that's sort of engulfed another car. Sort of see what it means because there's quite a lot of different layers going on there, but I think it's absolutely fine. Wait a minute. That's not fine. What's this made out of? I feel a little bit like I'm in a Caribbean steel drum band. Enough of that nonsense. Thankfully, the interior panels sound a lot more expensive than that boot lid. In fact, really nice and squidgy, this armrest and the armrest there, and that's all good. And we've got squidgy materials on the top of the dash. I mean, it's fake stitching, but who cares? And then leatherette here. If I wobble it, it's sturdy as anything. Now the design, I'm not sure. It seems a little bit like a previous generation car, especially this bit. Reminds me of a Jaguar XF, not in a good way. But other than that, I think it's all right. Massive screen here, and the tech is really good. Really, really crisp display. It's quite responsive as well, and it's quite easy to figure out exactly where all the functions are as well. Most of them are just down the side. A little bit of a like Tesla rip-off in the way that you have easy access to all the different key menus for the car, and you can configure loads of stuff, and you have these shortcut buttons as well. So I really like that. I also like the fact that if you're the kind of person that prefers landscape, you can turn the screen around like that. I think landscape is better on maps because...
You mean portrait?
I mean portrait. The only problem is, look, you can see you don't have so many menus on the bottom, but when you're on the Navi, it is definitely better because you can see your route ahead of you, and that's really handy when you're looking ahead at traffic jams and other routes that you might be wanting to take. Like that a lot. There is a slight problem with it though. If you are using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, then you can't flip the screen. And obviously you're always using that, so it's almost like just a piece that you're going to shove to people and they go, actually I can't use it because I'm using my phone. Anyhow, digital driver's display, it's okay. You can't really change the view, but you can just change what is shown on there. Heads-up display, you get a standard, which is really good, and it's nice and clear, ideal position as well. So I like that. In terms of practicality, there's a decent amount of space under this armrest. And you might be thinking, what is this? Is this a torch? Is it a torch? No, it's not a torch. I'll show you what it is. So it's a safety thing. See that? It's got a blade in it. That is, if for some reason your seatbelt jams in, you can cut through your seatbelt using that. Then the other thing is this. What is that for? It's actually for breaking glass. So let me show you on this bottom. See the lid there? Right, you push that onto the glass. See that? I'll shatter the glass. Interesting, eh, Watson? Good car for the paranoid, this one. Anyhow, 2 cup holders here, and they're a decent size. They can hold like wide bottles, thinner bottles. They do rattle about in there a bit. You've got your gear selector there, which reminds me of one on a Porsche 911 actually, and you've got a direct access to control your demist for your windscreen and turn your fan off and on. Though if you want to change anything more on the climate, you do have to go into the climate settings through the screen, which is a little bit annoying, but they're always there at the bottom of the screen. And then here you have 2 wireless charging points there, though they do only charge at 15 watts, so not that fast. However, underneath here you have USB ports there, and one of them can charge at 60 watts, so you can charge a laptop off that, which is really good. And there's some more storage there as well. Moving on to the glove box, it's nicely damped. A little bit disappointed it's not lined with felt, so things will rattle about. Door bins, they are large, so you can even fit larger bottles in there like that. which is good. And then you've got some big sun visors, which is handy on a day like today when the sun is low and bright. You've got your sunglasses holder there as well. Adjustment in the steering wheel is fairly decent, and there's lots of adjustment in the driver's seat as well. You can really jack it up quite high if you want to. I feel like I'm in a Range Rover now. However, how practical is the BYD Seal U here in the back seats? Knee room is good. Headroom, a little bit on the tight side. There's plenty of foot space because you've got a completely flat floor. However, because the batteries are underneath the floor, there's not that much of a distance between the seat base and the floor, which means limited under thigh support. And if the person in front of you likes their seat low, you can't stretch out to get your feet under the seat, and it can feel a little bit surprisingly cramped. Now if I move over to this other seat here, you'll see this one's raised up and then I can stretch out more, which makes it more comfortable. One thing that also helps with the comfort is this, look, you can recline the rear seats, which does help. So really tall people will need to do that to get the necessary headroom. I think a Chery Tiggo 8 just feels a little bit more spacious in the back seats, and don't forget it's got an extra set of back seats because it's a 7-seater. If you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner or scan the QR code on screen now, or follow the link in the description of this video. Other things to note, here in the back you've got your cup holders there, but you don't have any through loading to the boot. Pockets on the seat backs, you've got USB-Cs down there, some pointless little storage area there for your mobile phone, and decent sized door bins. I like this. The rear windows are huge and they go all the way down, which is great news. There's something that's not so good news, but before that, Jack, jump in. James, come on, let's have a cuddle. Right, so how are we doing? It's okay. Yeah, I mean, 3 blokes, lots of clothing on because it's freezing. Yeah, it's tight, because, but look, I've got about 20 layers on because I'm freezing. It's a good shot of my crotch. There's plenty of foot space. I think this is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's all right. But what's it like when it comes to fitting a child seat? So the rear doors open nice and wide. The Isofix anchor points are easily accessible. Look, so they're not under any covers. So let's get this slotted in. It's always a faff, this is. The seat's fault, not the car's. Believe me, on other cars it's way harder. Right, that's the other side done. So you'll see there's plenty of space as well. Look, for even a bulky rear facing seat. So that's good. I'll tell you another thing that's good as well. Meet you in the front. Check it out. Look, we've got Isofix anchor points here on the front passenger seat. So it's handy if you've got 3 kids or you just want to have your baby next to you. Plus, it's dead easy to deactivate the passenger airbag. You can just turn that little dial there. Nice. Thing is, if you've got 3 kids, you're going to be carrying lots of paraphernalia. And this is where this car starts to fall down. It's to do with the boot, and it's not the... It's the fact that the boot capacity is only 425 litres, which is sort of just like a normal hatchback. Now it's good that there's no load lip to lift stuff over, but there is a slight issue here. Look, this black trim, you're going to be like unloading stuff and already it's been chipped. Now let's see how many suitcases I can actually fit in here, because, you know, numbers are one thing, but what's the actual reality? Come on, James, don't drop any, don't drop any. Good lad, good lad. Right, now which way am I going to do it? I'm going to do it this way. 1, 2, oh dear, actually. I'm going to change, I might need to go to the low cover. Can I do the right? Can we do it right? Yeah, we are, we're going to do it this way. I think this is the way to do it. It might not be as bad as I first thought. Okay, do it like this. That's 3. 4. Might work 5. 6. Come on. 6 suitcases. That's not so bad. Actually, this space is quite usable, as I've just illustrated, but in terms of outright capacity, way down on a JQ7. To watch my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out button up there, scan the QR code, or follow the link in the description of this video. Yeah, James. Come on. Oh, what a legend, what a legend. Look in here. There is literally no functionality. Little storage area there, but there's no tie down hooks, there's no 12-volt socket, there's literally nothing apart from under here where you have like your storage area for your cables and stuff. Now, I'm just going to fold down the rear seats, and you'll see that you have to obviously come around here and pull on the latch. There we go. Climbing into the other side. Oops. Oops. That sounds like something's breaking. I'll just remove this. You see, it's a nice flat low bed. but you can't store this underneath here. Look, that won't fit. And that brings on to 5 annoying things about this car. Here, James, catch this. Good lad, good lad. Depending where the sun is, you can get terrible reflections of the air vents there on the dash, in the main centre part of the windscreen. Really annoying. So too is the fact that when you're driving along past trees, this shiny black plastic just reflects like crazy and you get this constant flickering in your peripheral vision, which is very, very distracting. The depreciation on this car is pretty hefty. So this £35,000 car is projected to lose almost half of its value after 3 years and 30,000 miles. That means it's going to effectively cost you £17,000 to own. But there is a solution. You can actually get the same car on lease for the same period through CarWow, and the total cost of that lease will be £14,000. So to check out the latest lease deals to make sure you're buying the car in the best way possible, click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right hand corner of the screen, or scan the QR code on screen now, or follow the link in the description of this video to go to CarWow Leasing. BYD stands for Build Your Dreams. However, in the 2025 Driver Power Owner Satisfaction Survey, the brand actually came last but one. So clearly owners aren't very satisfied with their BYDs. So maybe it should stand for Beware Your Decision. Do you have OCD? Well, this is going to trigger you something rotten. It's not lined up centrally, and it's similar in the front. Look, that's centre, and it's not. The regenerative braking on this car is almost non-existent, yet there is an option to change it from standard to high. But when I do that, I can't feel any change. Now we're going to use James to illustrate that it doesn't seem to happen. So what I'm going to do is drive along, and he's going to switch between high and standard, and I'll see if I can notice when it's happening. But to just check that certain things do work when you change the settings, we're going to first do the steering weight. So I'm going to drive along eye shut, and I'll be able to tell when he's changing the steering weight. So let's go. You've changed the steering weight.
Yep.
He's changed it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we've got that. So that works, right? Now I'm going to do it with the regen braking. Okay, so we're in standard regen mode. I'm going to lift off. That is not making any difference. No idea. Have you pressed it at all?
I did, yeah.
What's that all about? Even when I did it at higher speeds, I didn't notice a difference. Also, there's no one pedal drive, which is annoying. You get one pedal drive on some plug-in hybrids, not on this, but you don't even seem to get much regen braking for that matter. A car from China just doesn't have the same kudos as one from Germany. So what German car could you get for similar money as this brand new BYD CLU? So £35,000, went on to CarWow, and I found a Mercedes GLE. However, the GLE is 4 years old. It kind of puts the value of this car into perspective, doesn't it? Also, if you're buying a used car, you need to do a vehicle history check on it because it could have a hidden past. So the one that I found on CarWow, completely clean when I ran a car vertical history check on it. However, that's not always the case, because here's a car vertical history report of a Mercedes GLE, which it's got a flag against it for damage. You can see the damage photos before it was repaired. Oh, and it's also got a flag against it for mileage. Looks like it's had its mileage wound back. So if ever you're buying a used car, make sure you do a car vertical history check on it, okay? And use the code CARWOW for 20% off. If you want to do that right now, then click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen, scan the QR code, or follow the link in the description of this video. Question is though, does this BYD drive as good as a German car? Let's find out. I'm going to start off by testing this car in town. Because this one has the bigger battery, it can do up to 78 miles on electric power alone if I put it into EV mode, which I've just done. Now it's silent. The pickup's actually all right in electric only mode. The steering's really light. You sit up high so you get a good view forward. What's not so good though is the view out the back window. It's very, very shallow and quite high. So really low cars, like sports cars, if they're close to you, you won't see them, which is not good. I'll tell you what is good though, the brakes. Sometimes with plug-in hybrids, because you have regen braking, which charges at the battery when you're braking, can feel a little bit jerky. This, smooth, almost just like a normal internal combustion engine car. The turning circle, 11 meters, that is pretty blooming tight. And we've got the excellent camera system to help out. I'm going to go 3D. I want to see it from that angle. Now this is quite a tight turning here, but I should be able to do it if I do my setup correctly. Yep. Look, and this is helping so much. Look at that. Impressive. I mean, that light steering really helps. The light steering's good in town. Not so good when you're going faster, but more on that in a bit. The suspension is nice and soft, so over bumps and stuff, manhole covers. So far so good. I'm quite impressed with the way this drives at the moment, and that's key, at the moment. I'm going to go out onto some faster roads and we'll see how it copes there. Oh, all on electric power alone, that's good. Let's go into normal hybrid now. There we go. The engine's kicked in, Really smooth the way it kicks in. That's also good. Okay, we're coming up to a bit of dual carriageway, which will be 70 miles an hour. Let's check the pickup from 40 to 70. So here we go, we're at 43, 2, 1, flooring it. That's 70. It's okay. You do get a bit of a from the engine though. It just holds the revs as you accelerate. Another thing I'm noticing is that while there's hardly any road noise, getting a bit of wind flutter from those big door mirrors. Other than that though, reasonably comfy this thing is. The soft suspension is good over bumps like it is in town, but however, when you're going quicker, you get undulations. It means it feels just a little less tied down, but it's okay. And these seats, blooming lovely. Really, really comfy. Yeah, it's fine at high speeds, this. I could live with it. Let's go try it on a twisty road. Will it be good there? If it is, it's going to be a clean sweep, isn't it? Right, first thing I'm going to do is put the car into sports mode, because that's going to add some weight to the steering, because in normal mode it's too light for faster driving on a twisty road. It just feels a bit too like vague and stuff. So this is a reasonably heavy car and it's got soft suspension. How is it going to cope? First bend. Up, 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 up. Okay, it went round all right, bit of body lean. Problem was, I'm not really getting much information from the car about what's happening. Do you know what? Driving this quick on a twisty road, if you really want to push on, it's a bit like when you have one of those conversations with your work colleagues and then the actual thing that they deliver isn't what you expected, and we all go, oh, that's a little bit of a kind of miscommunication. There seems to be a miscommunication with this car when you're going quickly. You chuck it into a corner and you think, have you got this car? And it goes round and he goes, yeah, of course I've got it, it's fine. Then you go to the next corner, you chuck it into the bend and you think, have you got this? I'm not sure if you got this. And then it doesn't go round quite as well as you think and it runs a bit wide and you're like, car, last time you had it, what's going on this time? And it's like, I don't know, you didn't tell me that I needed to look after us in this corner. You don't really want to go that fast in it, but you can go as fast as most people who buy this kind of car are ever going to want to go. It's just for people who are a bit more into occasionally driving a bit enthusiastically. And I think in that respect, something like a Nissan Qashqai just seems slightly better set up. Another thing I've noticed while driving along on this twisty and quite bumpy road is the fact that while the suspension is soft, it does sometimes clonk like it did then when you hit a bump. Also, when there's lots of little kind of imperfections in the road, it's always just a little bit unsettled, like, oh, I don't know really what to do about this, and oh, I can't quite deal with all these bumps. There's too much information going on. I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed. I need to just relax a bit. The very best cars just seem to just soak up the bumps a little bit more. They're able to take the pressure, whereas this one gets a little bit flustered. Bless it. Come on, you can do it. Everything's gonna be okay. It's all right. We'll get through this, and we'll be back in town or on like a straight motorway in a bit. Don't worry about it. So then, what's my final verdict on the BYD Seal U? Should you avoid it, consider it, shortlist it, or just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the Seal U. It's a great value family car that's decent to drive. It's just that some of its competitors are a bit more practical.
First sight, I never believed. When I saw you for the first time, I changed my mind. Your eyes and your smile are a fantasy. I need